Welcome back. Let's turn our attention to the stock market, starting from the U.S., where the major indices suffered their worst day since early August amid weak U.S. economy data. Now we can see here the Nasdaq index fell the most as it plunged by 3.2% or 577 points. Now, this comes after a 10% plunge in NVIDIA shares following a report that the DOJ sent a subpoena to the company to investigate NVIDIA alleged antitrust practice. Now, the Dow Jones index also fell, but by over 626 points or 1.5%, while the S&P 500 suffered a 2% or 119 points drop. The broad losses come after the release of economic data that show further weakening in the U.S. economy. The S&P Manufacturing PMI Index for the U.S. fell into further contraction and it came in at 47.9 for August. Atlanta Fed GDP's now estimate for third quarter growth came in at 2.0%, which is much lower than their previous estimate of 2.5% growth. Into the Indonesia stock market during Tuesday trading, the IDX saw a healthy correction down 1.01% to close at 76.16. Now let's take a look at today's intraday at the IDX after a deep correction during today's open. It has a little big dip, but the Indonesian Stock Exchange was up around 0.48% or 36 points, and then it's ended the first intraday at 76.53. Amongst the top gainer for the LQ45, Kalbe Pharma up some 55 points or 3.27% for the intraday. The top loser is AKR Corporindo, who is down 2.03% or some 30 points. Now let's delve deeper into IDX and U.S. market performance. We will be joined by our analyst, Gema Goeyardi, Astronacci Founder and CEO. Gema, you're there. Hi, thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hey,
thank you. My pleasure.
Hey, looks nice, man. I like all the colors. So let's talk about JCI first. So how is it going, and where are we going? Where are we going to see where it's going to end up?
Let's talk about the short term. We're under influence of the vibration date of the new moon phase. The 3rd of September is the new moon cycle. And then if you can see, amazingly, Dow Jones, S&P 500, and NASDAQ, including the JCI, they're tumbled after the swing high. So this is based on our plan. Every month you have a full moon and new moon phase, and then it's very high correlation with our market, especially the new moon phase. When you see the prices keep rising higher since August, and then finally at the September 3rd, we have the new moon, and then you will see the continuations of the correction, and that's happened. And that's not only in Indonesia. If you see NASDAQ and Dow Jones, every market tumbled, but it's just a temporary. We're entering the sideways movement for the next couple of weeks, and we're still looking for the higher target price.
All right, so we already saw the JCI and where it's gonna go, and yes, you mentioned earlier might see similar thing with the Dow Jones and S&P. But how about the U.S. bond yields? How is being affected by the expectation, especially coming up the Fed rate cut?
Yeah, we're talking about the Fed rate, and assuming that the inflation is getting lower and lower, and then the Fed will take the brave decision to lower the interest rate. And we believe that the expectations, the inflation near 2% target will bring the stronger currency, and then the bond probably gonna keep declining.
All right, so now let's take a look at you mentioned earlier about the Dow Jones. Let's look at how the performance and then where is it gonna go on the Dow Jones and also the S&P.
We're looking at 40,000 at the first target because there's a little gap over there. This could be useful for a support target, and then the lowest part will be 38,500 for the whole September, and the upside target price we're still looking for 43,000 plus. And having said that, when the new moon phase come and the correction happen, if you are traders in the Dow Jones market, you're looking at 40,000 as the strong support within 5 to 8 days from today, and then that will imply to our market as well, including the NASDAQ. and the downside movement probably going to stop about like 3 to 4 trading days from now.
All right, so let me make sure. You're saying it's going to go down to around 40, and then it looks like here you have expected upside targets for around 43,000 marks. So when is that? When are we going to see that?
So we're going to calculate the downside movement first, probably about like 4 to 5 days, the trading days. Okay, the Dow Jones will most likely create a new support, and then from that point, we're going to recalculate when it's going to make the new high. But for now, at least we have some rough picture that 43,000 is pretty much possible to be hit by Dow Jones.
All right, so let's take a look at the S&P 500. There's a gap right there that you might need to be close at as S&P.
Yep, exactly. So the S&P 500, 5,350 and 5,475, right? And
yes.
That's a two price that could act as a strong support from which the traders should expect that the price going to make some new bottom over there, and the stocks, mostly in the S&P 500 index, will start moving higher after the new bottom form.
All right, so what's your recommendation before all these things happening? Where should we put this, and then what we should look forward, and then what's going on this week?
Let's talk about Indonesian market. In the past 3 weeks, I've been waiting for buying banking stocks that keep rise higher, right? And then we cannot just buy when the price is moving higher and higher. So we need this momentum to enter at a good price when the market is moving in a bullish trend. So I got several stocks. If we're talking about the future threat, okay, we're talking about the next pandemic that people talking about it. And now we got a monkeypox that probably going to be a threat for our market. So based on the history, we can also see the pharmacy and then the medical equipment companies. They had a very high appreciations. Like Gema Pharma has got like 470% during the COVID-19, and Heal has got about like 200%. So we should expect some of these stocks is probably going to be moving in a bullish trend without we even realize about it. So I'm going to bring this up. When the monkeypox is getting spread wider and wider to our nation, then we should be prepared and anticipate that the medical or pharmacy stocks will move higher, and you should be ready. And again, the banking stocks is also play a big role here. Let's back a little bit to the Gema Pharma. We're looking at the 970 for the target price, and then we can see the prices start moving higher and higher, making higher peak and higher trough over there. If you see my code, HP is mean higher peak, HT means higher trough. So this is the first sign of a bullish trend. And then there's the 6th of September is probably going to be strong support for Gema Pharma if everyone even interested to buy it. And then if you see the other stocks, is a Medicaloka, the hospital, the Hermina Hospital. If you see it's moving sideways, but when the monkeypox is getting more and more, probably we will get a sentiment from the hospital. We got a Siloam and Kalbe Pharma. You should pay attention on that. And again, I'm waiting for BBRI, my favorite stocks, to go for ABC correction. If you see in the chart, you can see the support at 4,820. That's the best spot for now to buy. So I'm looking the corrections to continue. Then I can buy the lower price. Then finally, I'm going to sell it about 6,400. So that's my strategy.
All right, so let me make sure. You just mentioned that BBRI might have a correction before it's going to go up again.
Yeah, at least I'm going to wait it at 4,820. I finger crossed I will get that price. And then if I get that price, it means I can get more than 30% until the final target price at 6,400. So that's what I'm expecting.
All right, so you mentioned earlier, again, disclaimers on, you mentioned health, which is Gema Pharma, medical hospital, and then, of course, your favorite apparently is BBRI, which might going to see some corrections. Right. All right, Pak Gema, thank you so much for being with us here at See Today. We're going to see you again, of course, sometime next week, and then I look forward to talk to you before the FOMC.
Thank you.
All right.
Together. Bye.
Thank you. Let's take a break, and See Today Business will be back with more news story. So stay here on See Today Business.